Ryan Cole, thanks for taking the time, and congratulations. I thought a marvelous cross-country season, but in your eyes, what did you think?
It was a positive end. I think, we always talk about putting the national championships on our schedule, and it's not just a hope or a goal. It's a meet that you schedule. It's a meet that we understand how difficult it is to qualify for. But I think you always kind of measure your season on, how you do at the national championships, and you can't do well if you're not there. So qualifying for the national championships was a big objective, and then performing when we're there is another big objective, and then being, one of the top, whether it's top 20, top 15, top 10, but you want to be one of the best teams in your sport. And if you're at the national championships finishing in the top 20, I think you're accomplishing that objective. And then you always look at ways to get better. But yes, it was a very positive finish to have. I mean, a new school record for number of qualifiers with the men's team and 2 women qualifying individually. We finished top 20 for the 7th time in the last 9 years on the men's side. We had, some graduation on our women's side, but having 2 women qualify, I believe now that's 9 times in the last 11 years we've had women at the NCAA championships. We want to get the team back there, but we're close. We need to continue developing our depth, which I know Coach Bowerman will do. But overall, you look at this season, there were a lot of positive metrics to it.
Yeah, absolutely, and doesn't it help as far as recruiting and as far as looking ahead when teammates who maybe didn't go to nationals see them go and compete so well?
Yeah, I think it's a blueprint. You always want to have people in your program that are showing what can be done. Mm-hmm. And then people join the program, or you talk to people about joining the program through the recruiting process, and that gives them confidence that it's not, again, just kind of like a hope or, hey, maybe this could work. It's this is what's working. This is how we want to do it better. And so it definitely helps current team members. It helps future team members. And it also sets a standard. I think it opens up avenues where people look at the Air Force Academy not just as an educational opportunity, an opportunity to grow and develop into a future military officer, but also you can come to the Air Force Academy and compete at the top of your sport. And I think that is something that if you're a highly motivated, high-achieving high school student, hopefully that's something that's really intriguing, where it opens up an avenue to a different dynamic of recruit or level of recruit, looking at college options. And we're starting to become one of the few institutions that still talks to high school kids and offers this opportunity to American students, because that's shifting in the NCAA right now. And so whether it's the roster caps and fewer opportunities for high school kids to go to college and compete at the Division I level, or whether it's an influx in essentially professional international athletes coming to take advantage of the now professionalized or more professionalized system that is the NCAA. And so you have fewer American kids being recruited for Division I opportunities. So I think it allows us to continue to build our program as an outlet for American kids to come and develop and get to compete at the Division I level, as well as, like I tell our team, it's hard to be an athlete and not dream of making the Olympics. Right. Well, when you make the Olympics, you get to represent your country against the best in the world. And I tell people we represent our country every day at the Air Force Academy, and we get to go to NCAA events now and compete against some of the best in the world. So not too many people get to make an Olympic team, but a lot of our athletes now are having that opportunity in the NCAA. And so you want to take advantage of that, and you want to continue to find ways to compete as successfully as possible within that dynamic. And so we're continuing to do that here at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the seasons continue, because you just now change a hat, or whatever you call it, from cross country to indoor track and field. It starts this weekend. How do you do this every year? It's like year round, you're at it every single day.
Well, if you like to coach and you get into this career because you want to recruit, you want to build a program, you want to go to competitions, I look at it as a positive. I think some coaches, their season ends and they have to wait 6, 7, 8 months to get competing again. We wait 6 days. You come off Thanksgiving break and then you immediately go into the indoor season. So it's not even, it's coming, it's here. We go up to Wyoming this Saturday for our first competition. Winter break is a great period for our cadets to go spend time with friends and family and get a deep breath away from the academy, but they also still have that commitment to keep training and preparing because they come back in January and 2 weeks later we're competing, and there's pretty much a meet every weekend, and you want to make sure you have appropriate load management and you're not overextending early in the season with any given athlete. But yeah, we hit the ground literally running coming back in January. So I don't know. I look at it as a positive thing where if you enjoy going to competitions, and that's something, I mean, that's a big part of why you got into this career field. I don't think there's another sport that offers that dynamic as fully as cross country and track and field. So I kind of enjoy it.
With the indoor season starting, like obviously you need to be moving up the mountain as you go towards the championships, but where do you start and what do you need to see from your athletes this early on, especially because it's a break right after it?
Sure. It varies by event. And so when you look at the first meet, it's a power meet. And so it's heavy sprinting, throwing, jumping. So you get some insight into where certain events are at, but it's not as inclusive as you would probably like to see for your first meet. But that will change in the near future here as our indoor facility nears completion. So we're excited about that moving forward. But yeah, I think you want to see where people are at. You also want to be able to use the winter break as a little bit of an opportunity to recharge mentally going into the spring semester. But it is always a building process of where you come in, at the beginning of a season, and you want to structure things so you're at your best at the end. But really, we want to see cross country build momentum into indoor track, and then indoor track build momentum into outdoor track. I feel like when you look at track as a whole, it's weird how fast January turns into May. So I don't know. And in a way, there's an indoor season and an outdoor season, but also in a way, it's track season. And so when you get into the track and field season, you want to be building as you go. But we always feel like with the number of events, the dynamic of our team, the addition of certain events, outdoor versus indoor, we always feel like we can be at our best come May and June with the culmination of the outdoor track season. But again, there are opportunities to compete. And whether it's as a coach or as a student athlete, if you're not excited about opportunities to compete, I don't know why you do this. So for us, yeah, you want to take advantage of every opportunity you have, but then structure it in a way that, you're culminating events at the end of cross country, indoor and outdoor. You're at your best in each of those opportunities. So we're excited to get into the indoor track season this weekend.
Absolutely. Coach Cole, always fun. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.